The Miami Hurricanes will beat the Florida State Seminoles as long as they don't beat themselves.
You are Locked On Canes, your daily podcast on the Miami Hurricanes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I am Alex Donno, University of Miami alumnus, co-host of Locked On ACC and host of Postgame on the Hurricanes Radio Network. And thank you so much to the everydayers for making Locked On Canes your first listen. We're available free wherever you get your podcasts. We're free on YouTube. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create your account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. On this loaded episode with our special guest today, we're going to get a game prediction. Hurricanes are favored by 4.5 points on the road in Tallahassee. Miami's first road game this Saturday, road game, rivalry game. We'll discuss whether or not Florida State can stop Miami's rushing attack. We'll talk about Miami's task of containing Tommy Castellanos and trying to slow down Deuce Robinson and Florida State's talented offensive players. Let's bring in first, before we bring in our former player for today's episode, let's bring in our, he's the spirit animal of the Miami program, the truth teller, Bruce Warner. Hey, Bruce.
Hey, what's up, buddy? Hey, by the way, this has got nothing to do with this, but today would have been my father's 99th birthday.
So man.
I want to say happy birthday to my dad.
He rest in peace.
Yeah. So, yeah, we have 4 days left, and it's on to Tallahassee. And I brought our friend again, Mr. Kelvin Harris, who played in a few of those babies. Wide right one. Florida State coming off a loss. I told Alex yesterday on the show, I don't care if they won or they lost. This is a rivalry game. They're going to be jacked up regardless. So it just, who cares that they lost to Virginia? Miami has to win this game. It's the first ACC game, and they can't fall behind, because I think Georgia Tech could run the table. So whoever wins this game is in really good shape. Kelvin, talk about what your thoughts are going to be.
I've told several Seminole players I think they should sit Castellanos out of this game so that they can have a productive season, because I'm afraid for him. I think he's going to get hurt. You know, I'm joking, but I'm serious, because I looked at their tackles. They're big guys. They're run graders. They can't pass block. They have very bad feet, and it's going to be a problem. And I expect that we're going to have some type of gadget defensively to keep him in the pocket. But the key guy to me in this game is Ahmad Moten. Because if he gets inside pressure, he has nowhere to run. And the other thing, and I've been screaming from the mountaintop at our staff, we have to play press coverage against Deuce Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happens when you play press coverage, because something I learned when I was with the Rams, Ernie Zampese, Ted Turner, quarterbacks are on what they call a clock. 3, 5, and 7 step drops have timing. 1, 7, 2, 6, 3, 5. All right. And I don't care what system you're in, they're on a clock. So let's just say they're going to a fade route with Deuce Robinson. He's got about 2 seconds to get the ball out. Well, if you jam him at the line of scrimmage, that throws off the timing. And so now instead of 2.2, now it's 2.9. And that 0.7 seconds is the difference maybe in Ruben Bain or Akeem Messidor getting there. Or
would you roll a safety on that guy and just try to take him out of the game altogether instead of having single coverage?
No. I just think we can. I think Samari Brown can press him. He's 6'2". He can press him.
Okay.
He's a big corner. That's what big corners get paid for in the league: press coverage.
Well, how big is Xavier Lucas? Because he might be our best cover guy.
He's pretty good size kid.
They're about the same size. Amari Brown and Xavier Lucas. Yeah, they're both over 6 foot, over 200.
Yes. And so you got to put pressure on these guys. I mean, and the thing at the college level that I don't see is you don't see guys knowing how to get off the jam because they don't see it.
Right.
Which is why when they get to the league, it takes them a while to adjust. But we got to put pressure on him because that's the only guy he throws to.
For the most
Like
part.
if you watch the Virginia game, he's only looking at Deuce Robinson. And I don't blame him because the guy made, like, where did he come from? What school was he at last year?
He was at USC.
He's
Yeah, he
another
was at
kid that gets the balls,
USC is
too.
where he was.
Boy, if you're Jaden Mava right now,
Yeah.
you're sending Deuce the rest to his family. It's like, what are you doing? Wow. So he left Lincoln Riley.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This says a lot about USC.
Well, let me ask you. Hold on.
Tallahassee.
Let me ask Kelvin about my statement at the top, because I strongly feel, and I'm not saying Florida State can't win this game, right? And they're going to have their home. They're going to have their home. Okay, well, you're saying it. I'm not saying it, but I think Miami wins this game so long as they don't beat themselves, right? Because I look at a Florida State defense that gave up 211 rushing yards to Virginia, and now they're going up against Miami's offensive line with Mark Fletcher, Marty Brown, and possibly Jordan Lyle this week. So as long as Miami doesn't make catastrophic mistakes, Kelvin, I think we're coming away victorious.
We're going to run it down their throat like it's a porno film.
Oh my God.
We're going to make them tap out. I mean, you saw Virginia ran it down the throat. Yeah. And I'm going to be honest with you. I expect Elijah Lofton to have a big play or two. And I wouldn't be surprised if JoJo doesn't have a big play, because I think he will be full speed this week. And the guy that I'm interested to see is Jordan Lyle, because he brings another dimension that we don't have right now.
A home run hitter out of the backfield. That's correct.
So this is like the worst case scenario for them. They're getting us at full speed. Mm-hmm. And I actually want them to try and force Carson Beck to beat them, because he can. Mm-hmm. I just hope that it doesn't rain again.
Yeah.
Because I expect Malachi to have a big game.
So as I started to ask before, because Virginia just chewed up their defensive front four, if you're Florida State's D coordinator, wouldn't you stack that box, try to stop our running game, and make us go just throw the ball and hope that mistakes.
Which is why I'm saying Malachi Tony and Elijah Lofton are going to have big games, because crossing routes, tight end routes, it's going to be there. It's going to be there because they're panicking. They're going to panic. I mean, and then Earl Little is not a cover safety.
Right, he's not.
I would, if it were me, I would spotlight him as a cover guy. I would make him cover, because he's not bigger than Lofton. He's not a super fast kid. I just think that that's a matchup that we have an advantage. And whoever's
sending Josh Moore deep too, because he could get past those guys. He's really fast.
Yeah, he's playing with confidence. But JoJo Trader, I think, is going to be a pleasant surprise.
Yeah,
I think so too.
So. Well, I want to talk when we come back a little bit more about Miami's defense against Florida State's offense, because it's been a tale of two sides of the football for Florida State. Their defense looks suspect. Their offense has been really good, including 6 nationally in converting third downs. You want to keep it locked right here. It's rivalry week, and we got a great one who, multiple wins against Florida State. Kelvin Harris is with us on this brand new episode of Locked On Canes. Keep it locked. Guys, one of the tools that helps make a huge difference for business owners is Quo, formerly Open Phone. It's the same great business phone system you've heard me talk about before, just with a new name. Here's why it matters. Every missed call is money left on the table. When every customer conversation counts, you need a phone system that keeps you connected 24/7. Quo is the #1 business phone system that streamlines customer communications. It works right through an app on your phone or computer, so no more carrying two phones or relying on a landline. I love how Quo, formerly known as Open Phone, lets your team share one number and collaborate on texts and calls like a shared inbox, so no customer gets left hanging. Whether you're a solo operator juggling everything or part of a larger team, Quo makes it easy to stay responsive and professional. See why over 90,000 businesses trust Quo, formerly Open Phone. Get started free and get 20% off your first 6 months at quo.com/lockedoncollege. That's QUO.com/lockedoncollege. And if you've got existing numbers with another service, Quo will port them over at no extra charge. Quo, no missed calls, no missed customers. Thank you so much for making Locked On Canes your first listen. For your next listen, make sure you check out Locked On ACC. Kenton Gibbs and I take you around the conference. We had so much to talk about yesterday. We didn't even cover all the games from last weekend. We certainly covered Florida State against Virginia, covered Georgia Tech, Wake Forest, Virginia Tech beating NC State. We'll have a lot more coming up later today on another episode of Locked On ACC, part of the awesome Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. We got the truth teller, Bruce Warner, with us. We got Kelvin Harris with us. Now, yeah, I know Florida State has played 2 cadavers out of their first 4 games so far, but they are averaging 53 points per game. And a stat that does stand out to me is they are 6th nationally in converting third downs, which tells you they're good on first and second down. A lot of third and shorts for Florida State. Can Miami keep them backed up, Kelvin, for those third and longs, which gives Ruben Bain and Akeem Mesidor the ultimate opportunity to make Tommy Castellanos maybe make some bad decisions?
Yes, we can. The thing about Florida State's offense and offenses like the one they run is that it's eye candy distraction.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean is
that's Malzone.
The jet sweeps, the side-to-side stuff, they just want to run inside zone and option. So all that other stuff is just to get you distracted because they want to gut you right up the middle. And we are very cognizant of that. You know, D-Lou, our D-tackles coach, he's got those guys focused. David Blay is playing really well. Moten is playing really well. I think this is a week that Moten can get multiple sacks.
Anything you saw from Carson Beck against Florida concerning at all, or you think he's just going to bounce back?
No, he's all right. You had a situation where one guy had a 50-inch vertical and tipped the ball for a pick. And then the other one, it was a bad throw.
Right.
But for the most part, he's making the decisions he needs to make. Teams are playing 2 high safeties. And the thing I like is he's not forcing the ball. He's taking what they're giving him, and we're running the ball. And I'm going to be honest with you, FSU is going to do the same exact thing. They did it 2 years ago. They're going to do it again this year. They're going to play 2 high safety, and they're going to force us to go 15 plays, 10 plays, and we're going to do it.
Yeah, we're going to do it, and that's going to tire them out. They're going to be beaten down by the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So let them do it. That's fine by me. I did think Beck threw about 4 or 5 passes really low against the Gators. Something. What?
It was raining.
Yeah, it was.
I'm just saying he threw several of those. Well,
it was raining. I mean, listen, people underestimate how difficult it is to throw a wet football. I mean, you know, I don't care how big your hands are, the ball is wet, and it was constantly raining. And so we did what we were supposed to do. We limited the passing, and we just ran it down their throats.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yep. Another thing, I just hope if we're up a touchdown or 2, we don't get conservative. I think we need to continue to shove the ball down their throats, throw it down the field. If we could run, we should be able to pass because if they're not going to know what's going on.
They're going to stay in 2-minute safety. They're not going to let us throw the ball down the field. It's not going to happen.
No, I'm just saying throw the ball. You don't have to throw 60 yards, but I would still take a shot down the field. I would still do it.
But that's what I'm saying. If it's there, yes. If not, throw the crossing routes, throw the mesh routes. Let your receivers make plays after they catch the ball. I mean, the one thing I like about this kid is he's not getting caught up in his draft status. He is just taking what the defense is giving.
Right.
Mhm.
And right now, because no quarterback in this country is playing good, so if he just keeps playing consistent, he'll get paid. Because other than Garrett Nussmeier, there's really not a quarterback that's, him and Nussmeier are probably playing the two best out of all the quarterbacks. Carson Beck has been in college a while. He's seen a lot of stuff, and he's playing like it. He is not forcing it. He's taking what they're giving him, and that's what he's supposed to be doing.
Okay, so something you mentioned earlier, you think Malachi Toney can have a big game. By the way, he was just recognized by ESPN as one of the top 10 true freshmen in the country, which I think is very well deserved for Malachi. How do you feel about his matchup against Florida State's defense, and why you think this could be a big Toney game?
Because they're going to be in the two high safeties, the underneath stuff will be there. He'll crossing routes. The matchup is in his favor. Inside, outside, and also I think Elijah Lofton's going to have a big day too. And I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see us do a lot of checkdowns to the backside of the backfield, because if you're Florida State, you stay in that two high safety, and the defensive philosophy, the 3-3-5, because they're going to try and make us work. And now I've watched them against Virginia. They tried to blitz a little bit, and I think I think if they do that, Malachi is going to bust early. And I think if he busts early, they're going to go conservative and just, it's a catch-22 situation. I expect them to blitz on first down to try and get us behind the sticks, because of the scheme they run. You just run to the bubbles. So they gotta force us into second and longs.
Yeah.
And then once they get us in second and longs, that's when they can come with deception, blitz deception. Are we blitzing? Are we dropping? We put everybody at the line of scrimmage, and we make Carson Beck try and figure it out. But if I'm Carson Beck, I'm looking for Malachi and I'm looking for Lofton. A quarterback's best friend is his tight end or his slot receiver. If you look at Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Wes Welker, Julia Edelman.
Right.
That's right.
And it's the same concept here.
That's right.
So
Well,
I expect those two to have big games. And I also expect at some point the backs to get involved in the passing game too. We should just deke and dunk them till they.
I've been saying, right? Screen, swing passes,
Hey.
get it out in the flat. Those
we
guys
saw
are
it with
tough
Marty
matchups.
Brown against Florida.
Yeah.
We're
Marty
not a
got
big
going.
screen team, but yeah, Marty
Yeah.
Brown and Mark Fletcher and actually
And
Jordan.
Lyle.
Yes. So but I think at some point they're going to get a little aggressive, because if we're running the ball on them, they got to put more people at the line of scrimmage. And I can see Josiah or Malachi or CJ getting a big play down the field second half, because you can't just let us keep running it down your throat. You got to do something to affect that. You got to get us behind the chains.
Yeah.
And then I'll tell you something. If they get us behind the chains a couple times and we get the first down, they're going to start to get demoralized. I mean, we are a pretty efficient offense, but they're going to try and disrupt us with a lot of chaos. And I think we have a veteran line, and we got a veteran quarterback. We got a veteran running back. We're in a good situation. And, Malachi is smart as a whip for an 18-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just offensively, I don't expect us to score 40 points. I think we'll score somewhere in the 27 to 37 range, but I don't see them scoring a lot of points on us either.
Well, hold that thought, because I want to get your official prediction when we come back. We're leading up to Miami at Florida State this Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Alex Donno alongside Bruce Warner, the truth teller, three-time national champ Kelvin Harris. You want to keep it locked right here. It's prediction time when we come back on Locked On Canes. Right now, it's FanDuel time. Yeah, we got a line on this game. If you're really bullish on Miami, you're probably pretty bullish on Miami minus 4.5. Hurricanes are favored by 4.5 points this Saturday against the Florida State Seminoles. College football in full swing. The NFL season is here. FanDuel has an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. FanDuel gives me so many ways to play, and I love it. I love building parlays, player props, even following the live lines during games. It makes watching football even more exciting when you've got a little action riding on the game. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today to get started on FanDuel. Thank you so much for making Locked On Canes your first listen. We got Kelvin Harris, 3-time national champ at Miami with us. All right, so Kelvin, you were tossing around some numbers. What do you think the final score is going to be on Saturday in Tallahassee?
31-13.
Wow.
I'll take that.
I would take that.
I'll take that.
Any thought from you, Bruce? Your final score?
31-23, Miami.
I'm going to
go.
30
or 34. 4 touchdowns and 2 field goals or something like that. Maybe 3 touchdowns, 3 field goals. How many? That's 27. Yeah. Between 27 and 31, and I don't think they're going to get more than 23 points, Florida State.
I don't think they can get 23 on us.
I'm in the neighborhood with you guys. I'm going 31-17 Miami.
Wow.
I'll
take that too.
Yeah. And of course,
I don't know, that point spread is went from 6.5 to 4.5. So that's what I'm thinking. It's going to be closer. But
I think that the odds makers are saying it's a home game, it's a rivalry, and they lost the game. So everyone says, well, they're going to be mad. Well, what does that mean?
It means nothing.
Yeah.
It means
for whatever it's worth, outside of the Bethune-Cookman game, which is like, it's weird when you bet on those games when it was like a 46-point spread. But outside of Bethune-Cookman, Miami has covered the spread in every game, and every like real opponent they played so far, they've covered.
You ain't got to tell me my homeboys a gamble, but they let me know when we don't cover. I mean,
yeah, did you hear it after that Bethune-Cookman game because they didn't cover 45.5 or whatever it was?
First of all, why are you betting on college football?
Well,
it's the most unpredictable thing out.
Yeah, it's fun though. It's fun.
So, what's the atmosphere like? Mario's got.
Yeah, you played there.
He's got that war chant thing playing. So,
these kids are a lot different than us. These kids are honestly. This group here seems to be more business-like than
in years.
Because you got a guy like Bain who's a serious guy. First of all, I don't believe his age. I mean, with a hairline like that, he's got to be close to your age, Bruce. So, him and Messidor are very, very serious. Malachi is very serious. Carson Beck they're just a very serious, down-to-business group. Now, I'm sure they got, a fun side to them and a wild side, but they're not as wild as we were.
Yeah, Fletcher is another one. Very serious guy.
Who?
Like he's not, it's not like an
emotional
guy.
He had a very serious, he lost his father, and that was his, he was like the team dad, and that affected a lot of guys because, Fletcher's dad was a cool guy, and also I want to condolences, I guess.
Yeah, I said it yesterday
for Alonzo.
Yes.
Because Denise was like, I call Alonzo Grumpy Greg because him and Seth are the two grumpiest people I know. And Denise was like that shining light that like her. I mean, I'm just like I'm still a little taken aback because I never saw her sad. She was always smiling. Even when Alonzo was grumpy, she was smiling. And I know he's got to be. I mean, it's going to be an adjustment because they've been together since the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I mean,
so sad.
Yeah, it is. So, I just want to publicly say it. I mean, I've sent him, private stuff, but and everybody is reaching out because it's a shock to us all. But I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, thank you for doing that. Wow. Well, Kelvin, you played so many games against Florida State. And you were part of the wide right one game, which is one of the most legendary additions in that rivalry. Was that your favorite? What was your favorite matchup against the Seminoles?
Yeah, that was. I was telling somebody the other day or yesterday during the TV timeout, we were on the field and they were tomahawk chopping, and they were going through the full chant, and you just look up and you see all these tomahawk chops. It's kind of cool. And then at the end of the game, when they missed the field goal, it was just an eerie silence. I mean, it was like a morgue in there, other than us yelling and screaming and celebrating. But the atmosphere, I swear to God, there was a couple times Gino audible, and I remember looking back, and I just saw his lips moving, but I didn't know what he was saying. That's how loud that play. That's how loud that play was.
Wow.
And
they're going to use the hand signals. I'm sure they're working on all that stuff. They'll be fine.
Yeah. They, it's one of the 5 or 6 loudest places in the country. I mean, I was listening to the Penn State game against Oregon. That place was loud the other night.
It was, yeah.
But Florida State, and it's a constant. Those people stand up the whole game doing that thing.
Yep.
It is. It's the most. That and Texas A&M with the SWAT. Those, to me, are the 2 coolest things I've seen.
Well, I agree with Alex. I think for Miami to lose this game, they have to make mistakes.
Yes.
And give it away. The only other choices would be that the refs take it away from us, which is possible.
That's the ACC. Anything's possible.
They hate us.
Well, at this point, the ACC needs us to keep winning. So I hate to say this, but if anything, they're going to be on our side because Clemson has peed on themselves. Yeah. And, Florida State losing to Virginia threw a monkey wrench in their plans. And I mean, it would be ironic if we played Georgia Tech in the ACC championship.
I would like that opportunity of revenge, like Bruce said.
We owe them big time, Kelvin. 2 times they beat us. Oh, so we'll see what happens on Saturday night. I'm really up for this game. It's a big game. I think it's probably the biggest game for Mario because if he wins this game, he's really sitting in a great position.
Oh yeah,
he's going to make the ACC title game. He's going to make the play. But if they lose this game, all bets are off.
Well,
that's how I look at it.
Yeah. Listen, he is going to be paranoid until we get to Charlotte, and he should be. Yeah. But these kids are focused. The coaching is focused.
Yep.
So I would love to see us press this Robinson kid, because he is the safety valve guy. He is the key guy for them on offense.
Yep.
But I feel confident. I really do. I guess
you feel confident because I know I do, and I know Alex does. I'm on the same page with Heatherman. That he could be the MVP of this team, not one of the players. That's how much better he's made this defense. That's how I look at it right now. They're playing great.
Well, I hate to say this. Gidgey was a good coach. He just didn't pay attention to the young kids, and meaning that he didn't realize that they weren't doing the things that Cam Kitchens and James Williams did. And, he expanded the defense with Cam Kitchens and James Williams. And then when those guys left, he kept all the expansions in, but those other guys weren't at the same mental capacity, and they blew coverages and they weren't making plays. And that cost him his job. And all Corey's done is basically go back to what we ran when I was at UM, because he's from the Shiano tree, and Shiano ran what we ran.
That's exactly what we've been saying all year long. They have to go back to the way you guys were attacking people. Even like I went last year with Mark at one of the practices, and he said the same thing. Bruce, I don't know what they're doing, but this defensive line is not going to get the job done, and they didn't.
And
I mean,
now,
partly was the secondary, but part of it was not getting pressure on the quarterback.
remember, Bain was hurt.
He was hurt for most of the year.
I understand that, but it's the philosophy of how you play.
And then they moved Messidor around a lot last year. He was 280. He was playing inside. He's playing outside because Bain got hurt. That threw everything off. Now, this year, let me tell you something. With Lightfoot and Booker Pickett, we got a nice little crew of young guys.
And Blunt is good too.
Malik Bryant doesn't even get on the field.
Right, he doesn't.
Yeah, he's a good player. When he does get on the field, he makes things happen.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in a good position. We just need to keep dotting the I's and crossing the T's.
Yep.
Well,
That's
we'll
what
leave it at
Mario's
that.
philosophy.
Yeah.
Is. It's about us. It's not about them. It's about us. If we practice well, we're going to go up there and beat Florida State.
Yeah, and we'll leave it at that. Great stuff as always from Kelvin Harris, who gets me fired up. But why not? He's a 3-time national champ at Miami. Bruce Warner, the truth teller. I am Alex Donno. Guys, make sure you're checking out the college football kickoff on Amazon Fire TV, your ultimate college football weekly preview. Drake Toll of Locked On Big 12 leads the conversation alongside 2-time AP Coach of the Year Gary Patterson, former college star Jesse Holley, and Locked On's local experts. Brian Smith and I will be on this week talking Miami, Florida State. A college football preview only Locked On can do. Catch college football kickoff every Thursday throughout the season, only on Fire TV. Thanks to the truth teller. Thanks to Kelvin. We'll talk to y'all next time on another episode of Locked On Canes. We are part of the awesome Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.